Welcome to the monthly meeting of the Finance Committee. You two guys who are new. Feel free to make any comments you want to. We've got quite a good process in place for doing things that we do. So, item 001, apologies and reasons given. None. Item 002, any declarations of interest. To receive any declarations of interest in accordance with the requirements of the Localism Act 2011 and to consider any requests for dispensations in respect of pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in agenda items.
No.
Good. Minutes of the previous meeting should have been available on the drive for everybody. Are we all happy with them?
Yeah.
Apart from you two, obviously.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'll second.
Okay. All in favour? Thank you.
Thank you.
Scribble this.
Six. Thank you. And can you just sign across here as well? Thank you.
So the next one, which is always the key one, we said some months ago that when we look at the list of payments, transactions, payment, we take it in turns and we select a minimum of 10, just to confirm validity and we're not doing anything wrong and blah 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 blah. So we've all got a list.
Well, look, you can share if you want.
I did read them.
Yeah. Could I just point out to everyone that the Barclay card this month is for £4,105.91 due by the 14th of June. So I intend to use my delegated powers to pay it so that we don't incur any interest. If everybody is happy with that.
Yeah.
So I'll go first then. G8 Building Services, £180.40.
Right, so we were going to hire a digger for works to the Jubilee Garden, which members will see from the drive. But GCM Plant Hire sent us an invoice for, which was duly cancelled. When we contacted our insurers, they first of all would not insure us for the digger, and then they wanted £200 just to insure it for the weekend, plus they wanted written consent from water, electric and telecoms that there was nothing underground. We then tried JCB Insurance and they wanted £90. So as my husband has that contractor's insurance, he hired it and paid for it on his credit card, hence the invoice from GCM to him, which was exactly the same money as quoted to the council, and then he has invoiced the council for exactly the same money. So there is no loss to the council except for the VAT, which amounts to £30 and 6p. So effectively, that's what the insurance has cost.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy with that. We had to do what we had to do, didn't we? To get it done.
Yeah.
So, next payment, anybody?
So eye test.
Yeah, there was no test running staff.
As a member of staff, we are obliged as members of staff use computers to pay for the cost of an eye test. So,
Okay.
We've got staff, we've got two lots of travelling expenses.
yeah, one is the parks team. So do you want, is that two separate?
Yeah.
So staff one is parks team collecting trailer. And the other one is admin staff, training at Lincoln.
Thank you.
Roy Thorne's 540.
Now, that is for the advice to do with battlefields, which they suddenly realised they hadn't invoiced Rob for. But they had, but they'd sent it completely to an address that was incorrect, so it should have been in last year's, but it isn't.
Okay. Shame. Did you want to choose any, Mark? See if you see it on your phone.
Lincolnshire commercial maintenance.
It's grass cutting. It comes in as one invoice.
So that's exactly the same.
So it comes all in as one invoice, but all the separate, the dates and the separate sites are written on there. So on the accounts it's all broken down, but it's just one invoice for payment.
There's Mammoth Workwear.
Adge.
Yeah. Work.
Oh,
What's the
4p adjustment.
4p adjustment.
Oh, was it
Yeah,
just-
the
okay.
invoice was, it was entered in, sorry. The printout was different to the invoice that came in by
That's
4p.
I know what it is for, but I'm presuming the cement mixer switch, does that now mean that the cement mixer is working fully?
I'm presuming so, because they've got the switch, so yes, they've had it, so
How many is that?
that's 8. And 2 more.
So I'm presuming wave is the water
Ah.
payments for each cemetery or each area.
Does it say on that list where it's for, or?
Yeah.
Water Hallgate, Water's Carts Park, Water
Yeah.
Park Road.
Yeah, so that is, it comes in and we pay the bill by credit card.
Is that for a quarter, Jan, or is that just for a month?
I think it's the quarter, let me have a look.
The park road for the toilet.
No, Park Road would be the cemetery.
So which one was it, Mark? Sorry.
Where
100, right, so there's 3 of them, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there? Right.
Very Castle Park and Park.
So the 5347 is water at Hallgate, and that is from the 5th of February to the 4th of May. The 10344 is for Carter's Park from the 10th of February to the 9th of May. And 2102 is for Park Road Cemetery from 10th of February to the 9th of May.
So just going back on the Carter's Park one, is that the supply that then goes from the toilets
Yeah.
across? So that's still quite high
It
actually,
is,
isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
in reality, because we have had to water, that will come onto the next bill,
Yeah.
so that's going to be higher than that.
So again,
It's a lot of money for
Oh, wait a minute,
the use.
the last 2 bills have been estimated. So, I will note there to,
And that just feeds the
Yeah.
pavilion and the toilets, isn't it?
pavilion and toilets, yeah.
And the toilets
So
are
I'll
fed in
need to
these.
get them to read the water meter.
There's a suggestion for the park. I would suggest maybe getting some water butts,
Mm.
because we can save the water off the toilet block and the pavilion, can't we?
Yeah.
I know, I mean, carrying it around in a can, but hey,
You could attach a hose to it.
I've got an electric water bottle.
Have you?
Yeah.
Just one more.
You want to choose one?
Just the DBS checks, which is something I hadn't realised we'd gone.
Yes,
Anyway,
we've done the
And that's
DBS.
for
All this paid
All members
staff.
of
all
staff,
paid
yeah.
staff, okay. They all come back.
Mine
Yours
has,
has, hasn't it? I'll have to have a look on the emails.
because it goes to you rather than,
Yeah.
I can't see it, but you'll see it.
Okay, so that's Colin
Our
and Aaron,
choice.
but obviously not our third member.
That one hasn't done the litter picking, we haven't done the last one yet, so,
Mhm.
but I'll check your choice.
So that's the 10.
What about parking cars? Is there anything on there out of the ordinary?
Sorry?
Parking card, anything strange on there?
Well, all the Barclay card ones are included either in last month's they're in that list.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Alright,
there's one that comes up as on the Barclay card, you'll see it as RJP Electrical, and I've written by the side because it confused me, but it's Forney Sand and Gravel. So
the same company, aren't it?
presumably, yeah. So when you phone up to order, it gives you the option, press
That's what we
one
looked at,
for,
wasn't it?
yeah, press 1 for something and 2 for something else. And,
Good.
yeah.
So that's, item 004 done.
Oh, and we got the credit back, did you say, for the card, where they issued a card, the extra card, and
Yeah.
also a membership fee credit,
Ooh.
because we've now only got 1 card instead of 2. So
Excellent,
that's
thanks.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well
I'll
done.
propose the payments then.
Okay. Everybody agreed?
Okay, item 5, the financial statement. To resolve to recommend the full council to approve the financial statement as at 31st of May.
So, if I show you the,
Yeah.
that is the balance there,
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
Do you want to just
502,
sign that
331.
and then,
Scribble it or
yeah,
full
initials
set
fine.
initials?
And then, for this one, that is the balance.
Yeah. And there is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
CCLA, that is the balance because those haven't cleared.
Is it?
So that, oh. That's it. So that is.
Okay.
Yeah. And just the balance sheet, which is exactly the same.
Yeah.
You're happy with that?
Yeah. Fine. And can we have a proposer, a second on that? Item 6, review of outstanding receipts and the famous monthly budget review.
Can I explain to Rick, there is a couple of adjustments that got to be made because I need to find out how to print out the actual budgets off of Realtas because some things I think I put in the wrong pigeonhole
Yeah.
until I get used to it, so.
So for those who haven't seen an update on the Jubilee Garden,
Right, so
we've got £646.
Oh, you haven't?
We've got a bit
We
more,
haven't.
we've got a bit more than
Yeah.
that. Do you
Well,
want
we've
the
got-
figures? I can give you them.
Yeah, because
I've
I've
worked
just
them
put
out for
through the, I've just had the bills from Branch Brothers for the,
Yeah.
pipe
Pipe,
and the
yeah.
other bits.
Yeah,
so,
okay. So if we go through the list as it is, obviously the limestone is correct,
Yeah.
the sand's correct. The plants, the first one, the plants for the Jubilee Garden, that includes some of the alpines that went to the churchyard.
Okay.
So that equates to £99 from that one.
£99 for the church,
Yeah, of that one.
Okay.
The next one equates to plants, that
Garden
was...
trees.
That's Rachel's plant.
Yeah, that, everything went in to the Jubilee Garden from Rachel's.
Yeah.
And then the next one, that is some for the churchyard, So there's 168 to come off of that one, that's churchyard. And there's also 170 to come off of that one for events, for the trees, for the schools.
Which will have to go in section 137.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's that, and then the final little bit down the bottom, where you've got it under lawn edging,
Mhm.
that includes £16 that was for plants for the churchyard.
Lovely.
Okay.
I can just make those journal entries and get that sorted.
That gives us just over £1,100 of
Yeah.
spent left, right, doesn't it?
Well, that doesn't include the other that we allocated from the form, because we had 3,000 that we allocated, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
But we'd got the £1,000 budget that was split 600,
Yeah,
400.
yeah,
So obviously we haven't included
No.
that in that duplication
And,
at the minute.
That £500 bequest,
Yeah.
we haven't used that yet,
Yeah.
have we?
So you've got some left.
Good-o. Okay, outstanding lot of invoices then.
Right, so what, it's really only two people, basically, so we'll be sending out letters, for those this week.
Because they were all due on the 1st of April, weren't they?
Well, the invoices went on the 1st, but the payment date was the 30th, so they're over
Okay,
a month.
yeah.
I still don't understand how Mr Seymour has got so many, a lot of lots.
He's got the whole of Callows,
One side,
one side.
when you go down there, it's split off.
Right.
But in
You've got one
reality, you've got
side,
them in as individual plots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
one side is farmed by one person,
Okay,
and the others are split. But he also has the 2 plots that he's got on that other side as well.
Which is a bit
It's a bit,
confusing
Yeah.
because they're not on the list, but,
yeah.
so I've got a letter I've written.
So our discussion around that is that we need to look at the tenancy
Yeah.
anyhow, because really, technically, with him being, it should be an agricultural
Yeah,
tenancy.
yeah, rather than
not
an
an
allotment,
allotment
yeah.
tenancy. So we need, it's something that we, and that applies not just to that one person,
No,
there
no.
are others
Yes,
that
yeah,
need
all
to
the way.
change.
Callows was just all one.
No,
No, isn't that Plank Hook where it's half?
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Callows
Callows,
is
sorry,
just
it's
all
all
one
one.
individual.
This is Bass.
Got Bass and Callows.
and Callows
Yeah.
on here.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I was thinking of the other
You-
one.
yeah,
So
which is
Callows
Callows
is all
was the-
one.
The first one we went
Yes,
to.
it is all one, sorry.
Yeah.
and does that come under properties then?
No.
Open spaces.
Open spaces,
Yeah.
that'll need reviewing then,
Mhm.
ASAP, won't it? Good.
And the
Outstanding invoices?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, I know for Peter and Mark, when you look through, you can see some from February and March, but they're all stonemasons, and they tend to apply for the permit and we invoice them, but then it takes them time to make the stone, so that's quite normal for them to be outstanding for several months, so there's no...
And sometimes they do more before they've even got the internal,
Yeah.
don't
They
they?
do, so...
Thank you for the explanation. And then budgets for the 31st of May. So this is a much better document than we had before.
Definitely.
Is there anywhere where we're looking at being overspent?
It's a couple, isn't there? I think got mileage allowance is 108% spent.
We have got budget
Yeah.
on drainage as well,
Hmm.
4305.
Where's that, Rick? Sorry, is that on?
Do save us on first, sorry.
Yeah, so you've got in admin, you've got mileage allowance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
100%.
because again, I put that, because we only got one mileage allowance and it's all set to admin. You can't change the admin
No.
to another,
So
it's
the
actually
parks
not
team
his
did-
parks team.
Yeah.
So what I'll try and do is do a
You can do a journal, can't you?
journal entry for that one.
Mhm.
One thing we have got to be careful of is by using other venues for full council,
Mm.
we're going to go over budget
Yeah.
because the Methodist Hall is 30, where other venues have been
So we've already spent over 50% of our budget for hiring halls, and we're not 50% through the year.
No, but when you have an extraordinary meeting, you
Yeah,
have an
added on,
extra.
yeah.
search
And the first
around.
aid training as well.
Yeah, first aid training.
Mm-hmm.
Man down devices were a little bit more,
Yeah, we did expect that, didn't we?
that's a health and safety thing, so
Yeah.
that has to happen.
But we did put extra in reserves for them.
That's come out of reserves.
That has affected as well.
We had that money that we put aside from the underspend, didn't we?
Yeah.
Last year. So if you go down to 220 power fills and then look at the drainage, that looks massively over 43%.
Yes, it's right. I think it's because
drainage
it's
between every single
drainage,
allotment. haven't
yeah.
they?
What's happened is the Rialtas have split it out. They've done the same with events.
Ah, okay.
So again, I've got to go back.
So it rolls up.
Yeah, I've got to go back and make journal entries because in events they've split every event
Equally.
down equally with the amount of budget,
Okay.
and it doesn't work like that. So
Well, we can get it right for next year, can't we?
Which allotments did you actually pay drainage for then? Was it just the two?
it's Northern's Lane.
Yeah.
It's not Battlefields and it's not Dog Drove from what I can remember. I think it's the others. It's
Was it the land that we don't have again?
Bass we definitely pay for. Yeah, I'll have to look back
Yeah.
and tell you which ones it is. I can print the plan off, so now I know.
Everything else looks fine, doesn't it? And we're all happy with that budget?
Yeah, looks all right, really.
Okay, thank you. Don't need to approve that, do we?
No.
Item 007 to discuss and resolve the agreed way forward regarding red diesel. One hell of a legal minefield, because if you look on the government's website, it's so confusing. But basically, it's saying we can only use red diesel if it's ornamental grass and people aren't allowed to walk on it.
Which that's just stupid. But
It is,
yeah.
which is why if you've got a golf course, you can't use red diesel either.
Can you not?
No, because people are allowed to walk on the grass, aren't they? So it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we're obviously going to be massively overspent on fuel this year, aren't we? But at the moment we've got circa 700 litres sitting in that tank. If you read the regulations officially, we should be disposing of it to somebody who can use it, because we shouldn't be using it at all. But
I mean, I read the LAUC,
yeah,
and that was completely different.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Lucked as we can on the government website, which is what we have to follow, don't we? At the end of the day, and it does say ornamental grass only.
Yeah, they don't class playing fields and
No.
stuff as a
No.
area where you can use it.
No,
Which is a bit silly, but there you go.
but I believe we can use it on verges and things like that.
We don't do any
Oh,
verges,
no.
do we?
Got to take cars parks in one big verge.
Yeah.
So
So,
suggestions for after the 700 litres of gone then?
are we using up the 700 litres, or are we trying to sell that off?
I don't think we should be using it.
We should be getting rid of it.
Because you might be able to, given that it's in a bit of a short supply, you might be able to sell it for a high price, possibly.
Possibly. Might lose out as well.
Yeah, you might. But we can get white from West End, can't we?
We can, but it's expensive obviously, compared to red.
I think we probably buy whiting from where we got the red from.
I think you can, you
Yeah.
can buy it.
Yeah, you can buy it in bulk.
Our main problem is that you're going to have to clean out all of the composers in the tank, aren't you, if you're going to... Because if not, you may as well just keep using red.
Yeah, you're going to have to flush the tanks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my personal opinion off the record is that we use the 700 litres that we've got until it's gone.
Yeah. We're going to have to get prices in for somebody to flush the tanks out. And until you've got rid of the red, you can't then flush that tank out and buy it in bulk, can you?
We need to, it would be, I mean, I don't know whether there is anybody knows of that uses it that would be interested in buying it. We need to,
Would some of our farmers that farm some of our allotment land?
They might be
I'm thinking of
interested, yeah.
one in particular.
yeah, we could ask, it would be worth asking, wouldn't
Mm.
it?
Yeah.
Because, there's no point it sitting there doing nothing. is
No,
there?
of course not. No.
But there's not much point filling up at West End getting white diesel, because if the police stopped you, it would still look like it's red, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but we would have a RV schemes, wouldn't we? But the converters can be flushed out with just a bit of paraffin, that does the job. We're not qualified to do that.
Okay.
So.
That's right then.
So if we can investigate, see if we can find somebody that's prepared to
You've got
purchase the red.
folders at Dom Drone, run 2 tractors.
So I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, we need to get those converters flushed out as soon as possible and start using them.
Well, they're already using white, aren't they?
Are
The
they?
last 2 fills have been from
Yeah.
West
Yeah.
End.
And then start getting pricing for
Bulk buy.
bulk buy white
Yeah.
diesel.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna have to flush out
The
the
tank as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So at least, we can start getting everything
Yeah, in place.
ready, can't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah. So that's the plan then?
So to approach a farmer,
Yeah.
reselling, flush out the Kubotas, get prices for bulk buying white
Yeah.
diesel.
And then flush out main tank.
Thank you. Can I propose of that, please? Thanks. Second, thank you. Everybody agreed? Thank you.
And item 8 is to resolve to approve the grant application, which I think is for the lighting of the High Street, isn't it, at Christmas?
Yeah. As it's under 500, it can be agreed here.
That's for their insurance costs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which they only got the insurance last year, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any objection to them having the grant, however, they got over £2,300 sitting in their bank again. So why don't they do the grant?
The only, it's a bit controversial, but the only objection I have to them actually having their insurance, they don't follow the correct rules when they actually do their road closure, which would mean their insurance would be invalid if anything happened anyway. I think we should still be supporting them as a local
Oh, yeah,
group,
yeah.
but is insurance the best way to do that? That's the only question.
Only small
I
amount
mean,
of money.
the reason that they've got that amount in their bank account would be that they would be looking to bulk up as much money as they can to then purchase
New
new
equipment.
equipment, which may or may not happen this year, I don't know.
No.
I think they've said that they're not intending to purchase any more this year, but they have mentioned that one of their main funders is no longer
Yeah.
funding. So, I mean, would it be more useful to us to provide X amount for going towards new lights for next year so they can start?
We can
Yeah,
certainly
really
ask them
together.
to, can't we? Ask them to give us a timeline plan of planned expenditure.
I think the thing, I mean, initially they have applied for this amount of money, which ultimately that's what the application's for. We can't change that. That's what they've asked for. So I think if we agree to fund that, but then go back to them and say that we understand that they've lost their main person, should they wish to apply for a grant again next year for lighting rather than the insurance, then we would look at that. Because we have given them a substantial amount in the past towards new lighting.
Okay.
So it's not something that we haven't done before.
No.
It was just that the only reason we ended up paying for their insurance last year was because they had presumed that they were covered by our insurance.
Yeah.
Because that's how they'd been led to believe
Yeah,
that
and
they
they
were
weren't,
putting it up, not covered.
No.
So therefore, the only way of doing it was to have their own
Good.
insurance.
I'm quite happy to pay it because it does
Yeah.
make the town centre look nice at
Mhm.
Christmas, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They do a good job. Can we have a proposer and a seconder then?
One second.
All in favour? Thank you very much. Item 9, to review and resolve to agree to recommend the internal auditor's report to full council.
Sorry it's so tiny, but that's the way it was
All
sent
right.
to me.
That's a good report, isn't it?
I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Mm.
I think with changing over software and getting all this done at the same time, Joan's done a fantastic job
Mhm.
with the assistance of Karen.
Nothing to do with me, it's all chat.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I don't at all.
Mm.
It's just a good report, isn't it? Simple as that.
Probably shows that we're doing everything correctly.
Yeah.
And it'll be even better now we've got the Realtor system, so
It will.
I'll propose it.
I'll second it. Item 10, to review and resolve to agree to recommend approval of the annual governance statement, commonly known as the AGAR, section 1 of the annual return to full council.
So that's page,
4 and 5, isn't it?
yeah, section 1 is the annual, this one,
Yeah.
the annual governance.
Mm.
So again, evidence,
That's with all the figures on.
Yeah.
Um,
evidence backs up 100% correct, ties back to the account.
There is other supporting documents there where you see I have, which is part of what you have to do for the return, is the explanation of variances. So if you have a variance of more than 15%, you have to explain why
Right.
that variance is there, which everyone can see what
Yeah.
it is. It's just anything above normal expenditure. And what's the other one?
So the one was the old seller's old machinery, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then you have to, yeah, so the actual box here, this is off of PKF Little John's website, and you have to fill that in as part of, and that goes away with everything.
So everybody happy?
Mhm.
Proposer and second of these? All in favour? So item 11, to review and resolve to agree to recommend approval of the statement of accounts, section 2 of the annual return to full council.
Where's that? I think that was on the second page.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proposer and second, please?
Mhm.
Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Item 12, to receive an update on the zero-turn mower purchase. So, I don't think, Karen, you were going to try and get hold of a bigger one, but you couldn't,
No,
basically, because they didn't have
we
one.
don't do that.
So, I spoke to Colin,
Mhm.
Mr. Spendaholic. I think, to be honest, we should just go ahead now, and we've agreed that we're going to buy one, haven't we?
Yeah.
Full council's agreed. So I think we should go ahead and get a 48 each zero turn.
We did
It's going to
speak to
save us so much time and money
Yeah.
in the cemeteries.
We spoke to them in the work scheduling, didn't we, about, and they said 48 inch.
Yeah, examples, isn't it? Yeah, and it will fit on the trailer nicely.
Yeah.
So proposer and seconder? Oh no, we don't need to
No,
vote on
no,
that,
no,
sorry.
no.
So they don't go. So are we wanting to have a demonstration first?
No.
Necessary.
Because I've got to contact the company that's supposed to be having a look at the Kubota to chase them up, so I presume they do them.
I don't know, you can ask, can't you?
I
I think we already had one quote through, that Colin sent through, for 48 inch, didn't we?
Mm.
And we just said if it's 48 inch, as long as it's got the commercial warranty on it.
And the adapter to do something with the grass cuttings. Can't remember what it's called.
Or mulcher.
That's
Yeah.
the word. Thank you.
Yeah, so we just need a couple more quotes.
Yeah.
And then that'll be fine.
Fine.
And like I think we were looking at 7 grand in the budget, weren't
Yeah.
we? Seems to ring a bell.
6.
6. I can't suppose we're spend over £6,000.
Mhm.
Get it done and in use. Okay. Item 13, very early this year. I sent a spreadsheet out to everybody that's quite relatively self-explanatory, I think, just trying to capture all costs. Page, the third tab along, where it says examples, is the examples, they're not real. Right.
Somebody thought
So the plan is to send them out to the chairs of each committee, obviously Mark, Isabel, you and
I
you.
think that's pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean you do it much brilliant.
No.
Try and get them back sort of for the end of August. Have a quick review of what people are asking for. Kick out anything we think that we're not going to be able to afford, and then have a final cut for the end of November for presentation to the full council in December. The only thing I would say is that next year's precept, whilst I did say the other day I'm going to keep it at 0, Jan's advised that I can't, because we have to include staff salary costs going up.
Yeah.
But I would like to attempt to try and keep it as low as possible, if we can.
It depends
But
what
still get
other
work done.
expenditure you've got that we might not need next year, because obviously there's some projects that we're doing that are
This
on
year,
year,
yeah,
so,
obviously, yeah.
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 We'll have to have a look.
I mean, we did well last year, saving 30,000, so,
Mhm.
and if we carry on doing what we're doing, then we should come in under budget at the end of the year again.
Mhm.
But I think it will look good to the public if we can keep the precept as low as possible. That's okay with everyone? Item 14, to receive an update on banking. Hand this over to Jan.
I should soon have a card for Barclays that will allow me to pay banking in at the post
Got
office,
this,
allegedly.
on this way, yeah.
7 to 10 days, the 10 days is up, but it is Barclays, so,
And it'll be 7 to 10 working days, right?
yeah.
No, Barclays. So that'll be about August.
So hopefully it will come and it will be okay.
That's going to save one big problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
With some of the other banks, we're going to charge us quite a lot of money, won't
Mhm.
they? So definitely. So, item 15, confirmed date and venue of the next Finance Committee meeting, which is Monday the 4th of July, 5 o'clock here.
Yeah, with Ringo's birthday.
Is 5 o'clock okay with everyone?
It's fine with me. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I'll close the meeting then.